One of the main leads at Xbox hinted at potential games that are going to be announced in 2021 for the Xbox Series X. What studios or games could he be talking about, and when could they be announced? Let's get into this rumor and potential events coming to Xbox where we might see some new games. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video on the channel. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. So we all know the Xbox Director of Program Management, Jason Ronald. He's been in multiple videos for Xbox talking about the hardware for the Xbox Series X. He's helped usher in a new set of fans to the platform with his very detailed information and constant updates to the Xbox generation system. But sometimes he takes a break from all of the hardware talk and he discusses the games that will be played on the Xbox Series X. And that's exactly what happened when he went on the Iron Lords podcast, which I have to say is one of the most entertaining podcasts around, not to mention it's filled with awesome guys who truly love gaming. And because of their demeanor and awesome banter, they were able to get a little bit of information from Jason Ronald on potential games that haven't even been announced yet. Here's what the article says and what it's titled. Xbox still has unannounced games coming in 2021. Xbox Director of Program Management Jason Ronald has made clear that there are unannounced Xbox games scheduled for release in 2021. Speaking on the Iron Lords podcast episode about the Xbox Series X and S, Ronald was asked what game he was most looking forward to in the year ahead, to which he replied, "Not all games that are releasing this year have been announced." So straight out the gate, you can see that the Iron Lords podcast was asking the right questions when it came to getting this little bombshell out of Jason Ronald. Now, I know usually people are very vague with their words when answering questions like this, but Jason Ronald was pretty blunt and truthful that his most anticipated game coming out hasn't even been announced yet, which brings up a whole slew of questions in and of itself. Like who's making this game and what studios can we expect to announce something soon for Xbox? Those are the first things that came to my mind when I heard him say the game hasn't even been announced. And that's something that the article mentions here when it brings up studios and games that could be making this. While not specifically referencing Xbox Game Studios games, the remark has sparked speculation about whether Ronald is referring to games coming from Microsoft's own studios, or even its soon-to-be owned studios, given its acquisition of Bethesda has taken major steps forward over the weekend. Ronald didn't elaborate on the point. So I actually wanted to dive into this a little bit more to discuss the potential games that could be coming from each developer. Not every single developer, but the ones from Xbox that could be putting out a game either this year or even have one announced this year that we just don't know about. And the first one that came to my mind has to be Forza Horizon 5. Now, I know this game has been hinted at plenty of times and wouldn't surprise me to have a Forza game from Playground Games come out very soon. In fact, we've talked about this game before with Jeff Grubb saying that he wouldn't be surprised to see a Horizon game come out before we get the next Forza Motorsports game. And when I look at the slate of games Xbox has confirmed for this year, we can see that there's plenty of room during the holiday season to really push a big game like Forza Horizon 5. First, they have Halo Infinite, which could attract a lot of people to the new Xbox Series X system. Now, I know Halo is a massive game with a lot of weight behind it, but I also know that Phil Spencer and a lot of the executives at Xbox see the end of 2021 as the main battleground for the next generation between them and the PlayStation 5. I say that because stock of the new consoles won't be in the trouble that it is right now, so they'll have plenty of stock from retailers to sell their consoles. And what's the best way to sell a console? Well, you drop massive games on a $10 service that people can subscribe to. So not only will people buy a new system, but they'll also have 200 games to play right when they get it. Not to mention Halo Infinite, which is a huge seller, and then Forza Horizon 5, which has become the premier racer in the gaming world. No matter what people say, Horizon is a massive game and universally loved by a lot of people. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that game come out this year and a surprise announcement happening this summer. The next game is obviously something announced that still hasn't been given a release date, and that's Starfield, the massive new space RPG from Bethesda Softworks, who makes some of the biggest games in history. And there's been a lot of rumors that suggest we'll get Starfield announced this year and given a release date of 2021 holiday season. Now, I know that's all rumor and it's something we can't hang our hats on, but seeing how long this game's been in development and how Phil Spencer and a lot of executives have talked about it, I wouldn't be surprised if we get this game at the end of the year and have it drop on Xbox Game Pass day and date, especially since the deal for Bethesda just finished and they're officially a part of the Xbox family. So a huge boost to the ecosystem and Xbox Game Pass would be Starfield day and date on Xbox, not to mention its potential of it being exclusive to the platform. I can't emphasize how big that would be for Xbox to really hone that in, make it exclusive to their platform so you can play it on PC or on the console, and I guarantee you a lot of people will flock to the service. And both of these games are something this article mentions along with other games it could be. As you can see on the Reddit thread where this all being discussed, many gamers have taken this to mean Xbox has some projects ready to launch into the wild in a relatively short time frame. But what could it be? The thread is full of guesses from the rumored Forza Horizon 5 to a new or Wolfenstein, but Xbox is keeping its lips firmly sealed. Could we see Xbox Bethesda exclusives arrive at retail so soon? Xbox boss Phil Spencer previously hinted that the future Bethesda titles may be locked to Xbox PC, saying that Microsoft could recoup its $7.5 billion investment, but existing PlayStation exclusivity deals will be honored. So we know that Xbox has a lot of games in development. We know this because they've said just as much. Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg have been known to say they'll have new games to announce at pretty much every single event they have. Now I know that sounds too good to be true, but if you look at the entire catalog of games and studios Xbox is a part of, you can see they have a lot of things to announce. I mean, they announced over 30 games from first and second party deals they have for just 2021 alone. And most, if not all of those games are coming to Game Pass day and date. So yeah, Xbox has a lot of things in development and a lot of games that they haven't even talked about, which is something Jason Ronald mentions here. I've seen lots of things internally that I'm very excited for everybody to see later this year, says Ronald elsewhere in the podcast. We're just scratching the surface of what's actually possible with these next generation consoles. I cannot be more excited by the games that I have already released, but definitely some of the games that are still in development. Now, I do have a pretty big theory that's been rattling around in my head for a little while now. I think that a lot of the reason we haven't seen that much gameplay reveals from Xbox and Sony's PS5 games is because the technology behind these games and systems are still coming in hot. What that means is that they're not ready to go out into the public eye for people to tear apart. We saw that happen to Halo Infinite and even Cyberpunk 2077, where people saw and played the game when it wasn't ready. I have a feeling this development cycle and all these new tools is what's holding back a lot of developers from announcing and showing games. So when Jason Ronald talks about scratching the surface on these consoles with these games, I think he's talking about more than just one aspect of them. I have a feeling he's talking about the developers still understanding the new software and hardware capabilities, hence why we haven't seen that many next generation games being shown off. I have a feeling that around summertime, when E3 traditionally kicks off, we'll start to get more and more gameplay shown to us, the gamers. But I also think that Xbox has events in place for us to see those gameplay features and to give games a good time to shine, much like the article points out here. Though there are rumors about a Bethesda Microsoft event taking place in the not so distant future, it's more likely that whatever is being hinted at here is more to do with games targeting the holiday 2021 window. Don't get too excited to get too caught up in the idea of playing whatever Xbox has in the oven anytime soon. And that's the best thing we can say about this whole situation, is that sure, there's going to be new games announced this year. Of course there is. Xbox wants to hype people up for their platform and for Xbox Game Pass. The Surface is the crown jewel of Xbox and Microsoft right now, so they want people to subscribe to it and enjoy a massive amount of games. That's all. And to do that, they have to produce games, but not only produce them, they have to make them quality games. That's something I have a feeling they're really working on right now. They don't want the low-scoring games anymore. They want high-quality games. It's why they've probably bought Bethesda, so they can set that standard, but also give the studios already a part of Xbox the time they need to make quality games. Because the more studios you have, the more games you can bring out, but also the more time you can give other studios to bring out games, because they aren't stuck with a timeline, because Xbox doesn't have enough studios to bring out constant content. With 23 studios and over 30 teams, that's not a problem anymore. So yeah, what Jason Ronald said is true. We haven't scratched the surface of these next generation systems, and we definitely haven't scratched the surface with the amount of games that are about to be announced for the Xbox platform. Let's hope 2021 really puts Xbox at the forefront of first-party exclusive games, because it's been a long time coming and Sony has really dominated that aspect of gaming. But enough of what I think about all of this. Tell me what you think about all of this. What game is Jason Ronald talking about? Which studio is ready to launch a new game this year? Is there surprise third-party deals we don't know about? How many new games is Xbox going to announce this year? How many events can we expect Xbox to show? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there. So get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now, I'm playing a lot of Dirt 5, and I'm also playing the medium, but I gotta go back to Dirt 5. I'm really enjoying this game. I'm just kind of playing it. It is kind of a time filler, but you know what? The career is a lot of fun. Buying the cars is a lot of fun, and a lot of the maps look really cool. Sometimes the coloring and the darkness of it can be a little overwhelming, and I think it needs to be a little more fleshed out, but other than that, the game looks spectacular. I've been really enjoying it. And as for the medium, it's just creepy and kind of disgusting at some points, which is great. That's exactly what you want for that type of game. So I really suggest everybody check that out. And this weekend, I think I'm going to be jumping into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm really looking forward to the game. I'm really looking forward to jumping into this massive world and really just becoming a Viking and taking over England. So yeah, let me know what you're playing. Are you working on something from your backlog? Are you working on something from Game Pass? Or are you playing on something from your PC? Let me know down below, because I'm excited to talk about games with you. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.